Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Accepted or habitual practice. The act of using. The customary manner in which a language, or a form of a language, is spoken or written. English usage. A specific practice of long standing. Accepted or habitual practice. Money collected under a tariff. Made according to the specifications of an individual. Habitual patronage. I have given this tailor my custom for many years. Accepted or habitual practice. Economics. The utilization of economic goods to satisfy needs or in manufacturing. The period of time permitted by commercial usage for the payment of a bill of exchange, especially a foreign bill of exchange. The occupation for which you are paid. He is looking for employment. The act of giving someone a job. The act of using. The state of being employed or having a job. They are looking for employment. Systematic training by multiple repetitions. Learn by repetition. The act of using. The activity of exerting your muscles in various ways to keep fit. The doctor recommended regular exercise. Do physical exercise. Give a workout to. Some parents exercise their infants. A task performed or problem solved in order to develop skill or understanding. Carry out or practice, as of jobs and professions. Put to use. An action, often used negatively and without consequences. An exercise in futility. Usually plural, a ceremony that involves processions and speeches. Academic exercises. Exerting shrewd or devious influence especially for one's own advantage. Use up, consume fully. Avail oneself to. Use care when going down the stairs. Economics. The utilization of economic goods to satisfy needs or in manufacturing. The act of using. He warned against the use of narcotic drugs. Take or consume, regularly or habitually. She uses drugs rarely. What something is used for. Ballet is beautiful, but what use is it? Psychology. An automatic pattern of behavior in reaction to a specific situation. May be inherited or acquired through frequent repetition. Long use had hardened him to it. Law. The exercise of the legal right to enjoy the benefits of owning property. We were given the use of his boat. Put into service. Make work or employ for a particular purpose or for its inherent or natural purpose. Use your head. A particular service. He put his knowledge to good use. Habitually do something or be in a certain state or place, use only in the past tense. She used to call her mother every week, but now she calls only occasionally. Seek or achieve an end by using to one's advantage. She uses her influential friends to get jobs. The act of using. The act of using. Skilled in the utilization of computers. The state of having been made use of. The rate of utilization. A customary way of operation or behavior. They changed their dietary pattern. A perceptual structure. A visual pattern must include not only objects but the spaces between them. Something intended as a guide for making something else. A pattern for a skirt. A decorative or artistic work. The path that is prescribed for an airplane that is preparing to land at an airport. The traffic patterns around O'Hare are very crowded. Something regarded as a normative example. Graphical representation, in polar or Cartesian coordinates, of the spatial distribution of radiation from an antenna as a function of angle. Plan or create according to a model or models. A model considered worthy of imitation. The American Constitution has provided a pattern for many republics. Form a pattern. These sentences pattern like the ones we studied before. Translating an idea into action. A hard theory to put into practice. A customary way of operation or behavior. It is their practice to give annual raises. Avail oneself to. Practice a religion. Systematic training by multiple repetitions. Practice makes perfect. Learn by repetition. Pianists practice scales. Engage in a rehearsal, of. Engage in or perform. Practice safe sex. Carry out or practice, as of jobs and professions. Practice law. Knowledge of how something is usually done. It is not the local practice to wear shorts to dinner. The exercise of a profession. The practice of the law. A natural process resulting in the evolution of organisms best adapted to the environment. A state of surviving, remaining alive. Something that survives. An organic process that takes place in the body. Respiratory activity. The state of being active. His sphere of activity. The trait of being active, moving or acting rapidly and energetically. The level of activity declines with age. A process existing in or produced by nature, rather than by the intent of human beings. Volcanic activity. Any specific behavior. They avoided all recreational activity. Chemistry, the capacity of a substance to take part in a chemical reaction. Catalytic activity. A systematic means of communicating by the use of sounds or conventional symbols. A systematic means of communicating by the use of sounds or conventional symbols. He taught foreign languages. Language, communication by word of mouth. He uttered harsh language. A system of words used to name things in a particular discipline. The language of sociology. The mental faculty or power of vocal communication. Language sets Homo sapiens apart from all other animals. The cognitive processes involved in producing and understanding linguistic communication. He didn't have the language to express his feelings. The text of a popular song or musical comedy number. The song uses colloquial language. A custom among some peoples whereby the husband of a pregnant wife is put to bed at the time of bearing the child. A custom that is peculiar to the United States or its citizens. An expression that is characteristic of English as spoken by Americans. Loyalty to the United States and its institutions. Any customary observance or practice. Stereotyped behavior. The prescribed procedure for conducting religious ceremonies. Of or relating to or characteristic of religious rituals. Ritual killing. Of or relating to or employed in social rites or rituals. A ritual dance of Haiti. A custom that is peculiar to England or its citizens. An expression that is used in Great Britain, especially as contrasted with American English. A custom that is peculiar to Germany or its citizens. An established custom. It was their habit to dine at 7 every evening. Attire that is typically worn by a horseback rider, especially a woman's attire. Psychology. An automatic pattern of behavior in reaction to a specific situation. May be inherited or acquired through frequent repetition. Owls have nocturnal habits. Excessive use of drugs. A distinctive attire worn by a member of a religious order. Put a habit on. The general form or mode of growth, especially of a plant or crystal. A shrub of spreading habit. A headscarf worn by Muslim women. Conceals the hair and neck and usually has a face veil that covers the face. The custom in some Islamic societies of women dressing modestly outside the home. She observes the hijab and does not wear tight clothing. Any customary observance or practice. An established ceremony prescribed by a religion. The rite of baptism. A custom that is peculiar to England or its citizens. An expression that is used in Great Britain, especially as contrasted with American English. A custom or usage that has acquired the force of law. Cruel or inhumane treatment. The child showed signs of physical abuse. Treat badly. This boss abuses his workers. Use foul or abusive language towards. The actress abused the policeman who gave her a parking ticket. Change the inherent purpose or function of something. Don't abuse the system. A rude expression intended to offend or hurt. When a student made a stupid mistake, he spared them no abuse. Improper or excessive use. Alcohol abuse. Use wrongly or improperly or excessively. Her husband often abuses alcohol. Liquid preparation having a soothing or antiseptic or medicinal action when applied to the skin. The act of bringing something to bear, using it for a particular purpose. He advocated the application of statistics to the problem. The work of applying something. The doctor prescribed a topical application of iodine. A program that gives a computer instructions that provide the user with tools to accomplish a task. He has tried several different word processing applications. A diligent effort. It is a job requiring serious application. A verbal or written request for assistance or employment or admission to a school. December 31st is the deadline for applications. The action of putting something into operation. The application of maximum thrust. Processing a photosensitive material in order to make an image visible. The development and printing of his pictures took only 2 hours. The act of making some area of land or water more profitable or productive or useful. The development of Alaskan resources. A process in which something passes by degrees to a different stage, especially a more advanced or mature stage. The development of his ideas took many years. Biology. The process of an individual organism growing organically. A purely biological unfolding of events involved in an organism changing gradually from a simple to a more complex level. He proposed an indicator of osseous development in children. Act of improving by expanding or enlarging or refining. He congratulated them on their development of a plan to meet the emergency. A district that has been developed to serve some purpose. Such land as practical for small park developments. A recent event that has some relevance for the present situation. Recent developments in Iraq. A state in which things are improving, the result of developing, as in the early part of a game of chess. After he saw the latest development, he changed his mind and became a supporter. Music, the section of a composition or movement, especially in sonata form, where the major musical themes are developed and elaborated. An act that exploits or victimizes someone, treats them unfairly. Capitalistic exploitation of the working class. The act of making some area of land or water more profitable or productive or useful. The exploitation of copper deposits. Apply to a wrong thing or person. Apply badly or incorrectly. Change the inherent purpose or function of something. The director of the factory misused the funds intended for the health care of his workers. Improper or excessive use. Contend against an opponent in a sport, game, or battle. Princeton plays Yale this weekend. Pretend to have certain qualities or state of mind. She plays deaf when the news are bad. Manipulate manually or in one's mind or imagination. She played nervously with her wedding ring. A dramatic work intended for performance by actors on a stage. He wrote several plays but only one was produced on Broadway. The act using a sword, or other weapon, vigorously and skillfully. A weak and tremulous light. The play of light on the water. Gay or light-hearted recreational activity for diversion or amusement. It was all done in play. Activity by children that is guided more by imagination than by fixed rules. Freud believed in the utility of play to a small child. Consider not very seriously. She plays with the thought of moving to Tasmania. Cause to happen or to occur as a consequence. Play a joke. Replay, as a melody. She played the third movement very beautifully. Game. The activity of doing something in an agreed succession. It is still my play. Perform on a stage or theater. She acts in this play. Stake on the outcome of an issue. She played all her money on the dark horse. An attempt to get something. They made a futile play for power. A deliberate coordinated movement requiring dexterity and skill. The runner was out on a play by the shortstop. Engage in recreational activities rather than work. Occupy oneself in a diversion. On weekends I play. Cause to emit recorded audio or video. I'll play you my favorite record. Movement or space for movement. There was too much play in the steering wheel. Behave carelessly or indifferently. The removal of constraints. They gave full play to the artist's talent. Engage in an activity as if it were a game rather than take it seriously. They played games on their opponents. The act of playing for stakes in the hope of winning, including the payment of a price for a chance to win a prize. There was heavy play at the blackjack table. Verbal wit or mockery, often at another's expense but not to be taken seriously. In games or plays or other performances, the time during which play proceeds. Rain stopped play in the fourth inning. Play a role or part. Gielgud played Hamlet. Act or have an effect in a specified way or with a specific effect or outcome. This factor played only a minor part in his decision. A preset plan of action in team sports. The coach drew up the plays for her team. A state in which action is feasible. The ball was still in play. A theatrical performance of a drama. The play lasted 2 hours. Be at play. Be engaged in playful activity. Amuse oneself in a way characteristic of children. The kids were playing outside all day. Behave in a certain way. Play safe. Be performed or presented for public viewing. What's playing in the local movie theater? Bet or wager, money. He played $20 on the new horse. Cause to move or operate freely within a bounded space. The engine has a wheel that is playing in a rack. Discharge or direct or be discharged or directed as if in a continuous stream. Play water from a hose. Emit recorded sound. The tape was playing for hours. Employ in a game or in a specific position. They played him on first base. Exhaust by allowing to pull on the line. Play a hooked fish. Make bets. Play the casinos in Trouville. Move or seem to move quickly, lightly, or irregularly. The spotlights played on the politicians. Participate in games or sport. We played hockey all afternoon. Perform music on a musical instrument. He plays the flute. Perform on a certain location. The prodigy played Carnegie Hall at the age of 16. Play on an instrument. The band played all night long. Pretend to be somebody in the framework of a game or playful activity. Let's play like I am mommy. Put a card or piece into play during a game, or act strategically as if in a card game. He is playing his cards close to his chest. Shoot or hit in a particular manner. She played a good backhand last night. Use or move. I had to play my queen. Use to one's advantage. She plays on her client's emotions. Utilization or exercise. The play of the imagination. The act of bringing something to bear, using it for a particular purpose.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.